There's a version of you that whispers in the dark. It tells you you're not ready, that you'll fail, that you should stay small, stay safe, stay hidden. And the strangest part? You listen. You pull back just when you're about to break through. You destroy what you've built. You run from the very thing you say you want. This isn't weakness. It's not laziness. It's something far more ancient. Carl Jung called it the shadow, the part of you that lives beneath awareness, pulling strings you didn't know existed. And until you meet it, until you truly see it, you'll keep sabotaging yourself in ways that feel mysterious, inevitable, almost fated. But here's the truth. You can hack this pattern. You can rewire the unconscious mind, not by force, not by willpower alone, but by understanding the psychology beneath the behavior and learning to work with your inner self instead of against it. Today, we're going down, into the depths, into the place where self-sabotage is born, and we're bringing it into the light. Self-sabotage doesn't happen because you lack discipline. It happens because somewhere deep in your psyche, there's a part of you convinced that success is dangerous, that visibility will hurt you, that change will destroy the identity you've spent years building. Jungian philosophy teaches us that the persona, the mask we show the world, is only one layer of who we are. Beneath it lies the unconscious mind, filled with fears, wounds, and protective mechanisms formed long before you could name them. And when you try to step beyond the boundaries of that old identity, the shadow rises to stop you. This is depth psychology at its core. The understanding that your greatest obstacles aren't external. They're internal, and they're intelligent. Your shadow isn't random. It's strategic. It knows exactly when to strike, exactly what to say, exactly how to make you doubt yourself just enough to turn back. But once you understand why this happens, you gain something invaluable: choice. You stop being a passenger in your own life. You become the author of your spiritual path, the architect of your spiritual awakening. Let's begin. Step 1, name the pattern. The first step to hacking your brain is simple, but not easy. You must name the pattern. What does your self-sabotage look like? Does it arrive as procrastination, as perfectionism that paralyzes, as relationships that fall apart the moment they become real, as opportunities you reject before they can reject you? Jung said, asterisk, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Asterisk, this is the work of individuation, the process of becoming whole by bringing what's hidden into awareness. And it starts with honest observation, not judgment, not shame, just seeing. Imagine a garden at night. You hear rustling in the bushes. Something moves. Your mind fills with fear, wolves, intruders, danger. But when you shine a light, you see it's just a rabbit. Harmless, small. The fear evaporates. The shadow works the same way. In darkness, it feels enormous. But when you name it, when you say, I sabotage myself by overworking until I burn out, or I pick fights when I feel too close to someone, it loses its power. It becomes workable. You can't change what you can't see. And the shadow thrives in secrecy, in the places you refuse to look. So look, write it down, speak it aloud, name the pattern, and you've already begun to break free. Step 2, understand protection. Here's what most people miss. Self-sabotage isn't trying to hurt you. It's trying to protect you. Every self-destructive behavior once served a purpose. Maybe as a child, staying small kept you safe. Maybe failure meant you didn't have to deal with the pressure of expectation. Maybe chaos felt more familiar than peace, and your nervous system learned to associate calm with danger. Your shadow isn't evil. It's ancient, and it's still operating from rules written decades ago by a version of you who didn't have the resources you have now. This is Carl Jung wisdom at its deepest. The shadow holds not just what's dark, but what's unlived, the parts of you that were rejected, suppressed, or deemed unacceptable. And those parts don't disappear. They wait, they watch, and when you try to claim something new, they panic. Think of a dog that was once hurt by a stranger. Even years later, When strangers approach with kindness, the dog growls, retreats, or snaps. It's not being difficult. It's remembering. Its nervous system is protecting it from a pain it once couldn't escape. Your inner self does the same. It remembers when you were hurt by success, by visibility, by love, and it will do anything to prevent that pain again, even if it means sabotaging the very life you're trying to build. So before you shame yourself for self-sabotage, ask, what is this protecting me from? What old wound is it trying to prevent? When you understand protection, you can begin to thank it, and then gently teach it that you're no longer that child. You're safe now. You can handle what's coming. Step 3, dialogue with the shadow. Shadow work isn't about destroying the parts of you that resist. It's about conversation, integration, bringing those exiled parts back into the wholeness of who you are. Carl Jung believed that the path to psychological health wasn't elimination, but integration, not cutting away the shadow, but befriending it, learning its language, understanding its needs. This is where the spiritual path becomes deeply practical. You sit down, literally or metaphorically, and you ask the shadow, what are you afraid will happen if I succeed? And then you listen, not with your logical mind, but with your inner truth, the part of you that knows. A woman spent years sabotaging her career. Every time she got close to a promotion, she'd make a careless mistake or pick a fight with her manager. She thought she was broken. Then, in Jungian therapy, she asked her shadow directly, why do you do this? And the answer came quietly. Asterisk, because when you succeed, you'll become like your mother. Absent, cold, too busy for love. Asterisk. The shadow wasn't stopping her from success. It was stopping her from becoming someone she feared. Once she saw this, everything changed. She could reassure that part of herself. Asterisk, I can succeed and still be loving. I can be visible and still be warm. I'm not my mother. Asterisk. The self-sabotage stopped, not because she fought it, but because she understood it. Your shadow speaks in feelings, images, and impulses. Learn its language. Ask it questions. Journal its answers. This is the essence of depth psychology. Treating your inner world with the same respect you give another person, because in truth, it is another person, a younger you, a scared you, a you that just wants to be seen. Step 4, rewrite the story. You've named the pattern. You've understood the protection. You've dialogued with the shadow. Now comes the creative work, rewriting the story. Jung spoke often of the importance of myth and symbol in psychological healing. We don't just live by facts. We live by narratives. And if the narrative you've been telling yourself is, I always fail, or I'm not meant for happiness, or people like me don't get what they want, then your unconscious mind will move heaven and earth to prove that story true. But stories can be rewritten, not with denial, not with toxic positivity, but with new evidence, new experiences, new truths. In mythology, the hero must ascend into the underworld before they can return transformed. Persephone, Inanna, Orpheus. This descent isn't punishment. It's initiation. Your self-sabotage is your underworld. And every time you face it, every time you choose differently, you're collecting evidence for a new myth, the one where you rise, where you integrate, where you become whole. Start small. Choose one moment where the sabotage pattern usually triggers. And in that moment, pause, breathe, choose differently. Not perfectly, just differently. Each time you do, you're telling your unconscious mind, asterisk, the old story's over. We're writing a new one now, asterisk. This is individuation in action, not a one-time event, but a process, a daily choosing, a commitment to your mature soul over your frightened child. Step 5, embody the new pattern. Insight alone is enough. You can understand your shadow perfectly and still sabotage yourself the next day. Why? Because the body remembers what the mind forgets. Your nervous system is wired for the old pattern. It's comfortable there. Even if it hurts, it's familiar. And the nervous system craves familiarity above all else. This is where empaths and sensitive souls often struggle. You feel everything deeply. You sense the weight of change in your bones. And sometimes that sensitivity becomes a barrier. But it doesn't have to be. Sensitivity is also your superpower. Because when you learn to listen to your body, truly listen, you can catch the sabotage before it takes over. A tree doesn't grow overnight. It sends roots deep. It weathers storms. It adapts slowly, patiently over seasons. And one day, you look up and realize it's towering. Your new pattern is like that tree. Each time you choose growth over safety, you're sending roots deeper. Each time you sit with discomfort instead of running, you're strengthening the trunk. The transformation isn't instant, but it's real. Notice the sensations in your body when the sabotage pattern begins. Does your chest tighten? Does your stomach churn? Does your mind go foggy? These are signals, not enemies. Listen to them. Breathe through them. Move your body. Dance, walk, stretch. Show your nervous system. Asterisk, we're safe. We can handle this. Asterisk. This is spiritual awakening made practical, not some distant enlightenment, but the courage to stay present with yourself in the moments that matter most. Self-sabotage isn't a life sentence. It's a message, a call from the depths of your psyche, asking you to pay attention, to slow down, to see what's been hidden. Carl Jung knew something most people forget. You're not broken. You're fragmented. And the journey isn't about fixing yourself. It's about gathering the pieces, welcoming them home, becoming whole. This is the work of the inner self, the work of the spiritual path. It's not easy, but it's sacred. And every time you choose awareness over avoidance, integration over rejection, you're stepping into the person you were always meant to become. You have everything you need. The wisdom is already within you. The shadow, the persona, the unconscious mind, they're not obstacles. They're guides, teachers, invitations to go deeper. So the next time you feel yourself pulling back, sabotaging, retreating, pause, breathe, ask, what does this try and tell me? And then listen, because buried in that answer is your liberation. If this resonated with you, if you felt something shift, take a moment, reflect, maybe journal about the pattern you're ready to name. Maybe sit quietly and ask your shadow what's protecting you from. And if you found value here, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more explorations into Jungian philosophy, shadow work, and the depths of the psyche, because this journey is richer when we walk it together. Thank you for going deep with me today. Until next time, stay curious, stay compassionate, and keep doing the inner work. The path is yours to walk, and you're more ready than you know.